What's up, YouTube? This is Target for Cost, here with the new structure deck, Beware of the Traptrix. First, let's start off with just like remarking on how beautiful this box is. This box art is like really good. Konami is really stepping its game up with a lot of these new just box arts. But with any structure deck, you're gonna need 3. So let's get started. I like doing it that way. It's probably the easiest to open. But these always escape me. I'm never good at opening these. It's always so hard to try to open these. Probably edit that out so people don't see me fumbling opening this. Oh, and we got a little bit of edgeware already. I'm not sure if I did that by opening it, or was that just already like that. But we're going to be starting off with Traptrix Putika. Its effect reads, unaffected by the effects of normal trap cards, unaffected by the effects of whole normal trap cards. That'd be broken, it'd be like Sarah. You can use each of the following effects of Traptrix Putika once per turn. When this card is normal summon, you can add 1 Traptrix Garden from your deck to your hand. If this card is special summon, you can target 1 special summon monster your opponent controls, banish it. Also, during the next standby phase, your opponent can special summon 1 of their banished monsters. It's a really good card. Traptrix also had that like really bad. They didn't have anything like really good and usable when they were special summoned. It was just normal summon. The special summon effects were like okay. Like Murmillo destroys a spell or trap card, and I think Dianea gets to set a trap from your graveyard. They just didn't have like really good special summon effects, but this one's actually really good and it's actually pretty relevant. Next is Traptrix Garden. During your main phase, you can normal summon 1 Traptrix monster in addition to your normal summon / set. You can only gain this effect once per turn. The first time each insect or plant monster you control will be destroyed by battle each turn, it is not destroyed. That pairs really well with Rafflesia, because Rafflesia can't be destroyed by card effects, I believe. Well, it has material, or actually, the other Traptrix, not Rafflesia, can't be destroyed by card effects. So that's really good. It creates like a soft layer of protection. You can banish 1 monster you control, special summon 1 Traptrix monster from your hand or graveyard. Ooh, okay, that's pretty good. So you have proactive plays. Traptrix is a very reactive heavy deck. They usually only do things in response to your opponent, don't really have their own aggressive plays. You can combo that with Putika to banish your opponent's stuff. So that's pretty good. I don't like the fact that Putika lets your opponent special summon any of their banished, so they just get something for free. But that's a nice effect. That pairs really well. Trap Tantalizing Tune. Trap Tantalizing Tune. That's very interesting. Discard 1 level 4 or lower. Discard 1 level 4 insect or plant monster or 1 normal trap card. Draw 2 cards. You can banish this card from your graveyard, then target 1 of your banished level 4 insect or plant monsters or normal trap cards and place it on the bottom of the deck. You can only use each of the following. You can only use each effect of Trap Tantalizing Tune once per turn. So this is the card they were talking about that you could splash in Eldritch, get all that advantage. It just says normal trap, and that's really good. So every trap card deck can play this. It's actually a really strong deck, gives you resources. Oh, they have a new Exceed. That's really cool. This is really good artwork. Not sure if you can see it. Got a little bit of a glare. This is Traptrix Pinguicula. I know these are supposed to be like named after like plants and flowers, but this is that's a name. Pinguicula. We're calling it Traptrix Penguin from now on. 2 level 4 monsters, so this is generic. While this card has material, it is unaffected by trap cards and the effects and the activated effects of other monsters with the same type as this card's material. Okay, where are we going with this? That sounds pretty strong. Can you add material? You can use each of the following effects of Traptrix Penguin once per turn. You can detach 1 material from this card, add 1 Traptrix monster from your deck to your hand. If a monster is owned by your opponent, is sent to the graveyard or banished by card effect, except by damage step, you can attach 1 of those monsters to this card. Okay. That's a monster owned by your opponent. Okay, that's... So it's unaffected by... So how would you get like a spell under this? When this card has material that's unaffected by trap effects. And of monster effects. Oh, as the same type as the monster. Okay, not the same card. Okay, I was just misreading. Okay, it can attack. It's 25 attack, 300 defense. This is actually not a bad effect. Really good. Oh, and this is a new Link monster. Traptrix Adipus. This card's so cute. Just take a moment to like observe how cute this card is. I know there's a glare. We're working on the glare, but this card is actually really adorable. 2+ monsters, including an insect or plant. This is a Link 3. Oh, why did they make it a Link 3? I don't like where we're going with this. This Link Summon card is unaffected by all traps. Unaffected by trap effects. Okay, so that's activated and already active. That's... Are they all worded like that? Yeah, they're... Okay. All Traptrix monsters you control gain 1,000 attack while you have a normal trap in your graveyard. Wow. Okay. Alright, we're getting somewhere. I wish it boosted defense so Rafflesia could just be sitting at like just a fat 3,500 defense. And so it just kind of create this pseudo lock. Because like not a lot of things are just running over 35. And if you have protection, it's even greater. Once per turn, you can target face-up cards your opponent controls up to the number of insect, plant, monster you control, negate their effects until the end of the turn. Then you can apply this effect. Banish 1 trap card, banish 1 normal trap from your graveyard and destroy 1 of those targeted face-up cards. See, this would have been so much better if this was a quick effect. If this was a quick effect, I could sign up for the fact that this is a Link 3. You're still going to play this, obviously. This card's amazing. But it's just, it leaves that little bit to be desired. I really like this card, though. These artworks are really, really good. And I'm going to struggle trying to pronounce this. Traptrix Arachnocampa. It's a cool name, actually. Arachnocampa. Unaffected by the effects of whole normal traps. The first time each set card in your spell and trap card zone would be destroyed by card effect. This destroyed by card effect each turn. It is not destroyed. During your main phase, if you control a Traptrix monster quick effect, you can special summon this card from your hand. Also, you cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck except for the rest of the turn, except insect or plant monsters. Okay, all right. That's really good. That's actually really, really good. It just special summons itself for free if you control a Traptrix monster, and it's just during the main phase too. Wow, that's strong. That's really, really strong. Just creates a body. Wow, that is surprisingly strong. Like I can't believe they gave the. You can only use this effect of Traptrix Arachnocampa once per turn. Yeah, I don't think you'd be able to use this like multiple times a turn. This would be broken. See, this is how you do a structure deck. This is really how you do a structure deck. And the card everybody's looking forward to, evenly matched. If you don't want to play Traptrix, still buy the structure deck. Just having the evenly matched is like it's phenomenal. This card is just always becomes expensive. It's always gonna be a $10+ card. Just got a reprint later last year, like less than about 3-4 months ago. Card's already $15+ right now. It was like $8 when it first debuted. It's like this card is so valuable, especially right now in the format we're in. We're playing heavy Kashtira and Labyrinth, and this kind of blows them out if they don't have like a Solemn Judgment or just a response to it. This card is amazing value. If you don't like any of the Traptrix cards, go pick up the structure deck just for this. Like, this is enough. Traptrix Holtia. Oh yeah, I was reading about this card earlier. You can activate this card at the turn it was set by discarding one normal trap card. Special summon this card in defense position as a normal monster, plant earth, level 4, 400 attack, 2400 defense. Wow. 2400 defense? That's crazy. Why is that ass so big? This card is not treated as a trap. Why is it so big? Pause. You can banish this card from your graveyard, then target one Traptrix monster in your graveyard, special summon it. You can only use one Traptrix Holtia effect per turn and only once that turn. That's fine. This gets a pass for that. This card's stupid. This card's actually really stupid. Like, this card's amazing for like what it does and the low cost of it. Traptrix Atrix. Unaffected by normal traps. You can activate whole normal traps from your hand. The activation of effects of normal traps activated on your field cannot be negated. Yeah, so this is where we get into the reprints. I think we're not getting any more new cards. But that's really good. Easy, accessible Murmillo. And the commons actually look pretty good. I won't deny that. A little sad that my Putika is a little damaged, but like looking at the rest of these cards, they don't actually look bad. Just look on the side. Oh yeah, there's the promotional art or promotional card for the structure deck, and that product placement, that yummy product placement that Konami likes to do. They do too much of it. Like, we know what the products are. Like, the set released, and like it was just all up and down the YCS coverage, and I think that kind of like that makes the commentary suffer, because you don't need to throw in shameless product placement like every couple seconds. And like, you know, you have experienced players like Billy Brake, who's a 5-time YCS champion. I can tell just looking on his face, like he's just not like proud of like what he's saying. At least that's what I think. That's my opinion. But just let them talk. Let them talk. Like, it would be really interesting to get their take on the format. You know, somebody that's had such a decorated, accomplished history in the game. Just let him talk. Let him give him his opinion, his thoughts. A lot of players could benefit from that, but that's just one man's opinion. Master Duel. Master Duel has so much potential, but their format is just so, like, it's so behind. Like, it's too behind. It's just too behind. Like, I play it off and on for the events, but like after a while it gets tiring just trying to just grind after a while. Going back to this, you got Traptrix Murmillo. This searches, well, they all share that clause, so I'm just stop reading that unaffected by the effects of normal hole traps. All Traptrix monsters have that clause in some way, shape, or form, so we're just going to stick to what they actually do. When this card is normal summon, you can add one whole normal trap from your deck to your hand. If this card is special summon, you could target one spell or trap on your opponent controls, destroy that target. So fun fact about this, even if your opponent doesn't have any spell and trap cards, this still has to trigger. This is a mandatory effect. It's not optional. The word you can for this, if this card is special summon effect, is not on here, so you have to trigger that, which is actually really beneficial for your turn 1 plays when you special summon it off of Sarah. So you can trigger Sarah's secondary effect to search or to set. Traptrix Nepenthes. I don't actually know what this one does. Like, I thought I knew what all the Traptrix before the new support came out do. I don't actually know what this one does. If you activate a normal trap, if you activate a whole normal trap, except during the damage step, you can add to your hand or special summon one Traptrix monster from your deck. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I've only ever seen this card played like a handful of times. I never played it when I was playing Traptrix with Dogmatica. I just didn't think it was all that good. Because all I was ever playing was Murmelo and the other two. Diana, there we go. This is the one you play. I don't know if you'll be playing like too many of these before you would like max out of this, but it's not really good turn start. It's like good for like secondary, like for follow-ups, but it's not like good for starting. When this card is normal summon, you can target one Traptrix in your graveyard, special summon it in defense position. When this card is special summoned, you can target one whole normal trap in your graveyard, set that target, but banish it during the end phase of your next turn if it's still on the field. You can only use this effect of Traptrix Dianea once per turn. Really good for recursion, just resetting up your plays. Unfortunately, it's just not as good now. Traptrix Genelisa. You can tribute this card, set 2 normal traps, set 2 whole normal traps. I keep tripping over that part. I just wanted it to be broken so you could set any 2 traps, but that's just not the case. That would be too good. That'd be too good. Just get any trap card you want. Set 2 whole normal traps with different names, one from your deck and one from your graveyard, but banish them when they leave the field. That works really good with that new Lady of Lament card. It's not Malice. I think it might be Malice. I think some builds probably would play that. It returns 3 to 6 trap cards that are banished or in your graveyard to the deck. I think it shuffles and then it draws, depending on how many you shuffle back. If you shuffle back 3, I think you get to draw 1. If you shuffle back 2, I think you get to draw 2. I mean, if you shuffle back 6, you get to draw 2. The meme herself, Traptrix Vesiculo. If you're a native Spanish speaker or you just know what the word culo means, enough said. You can only use the effect. You can only use one of the following effects of Traptrix Vesiculo once per turn, and only once that turn. You can set 1 trap card you control to the graveyard, special summon this card from your hand. You can control no cards in your spell and trap card zone. You can banish this card from your graveyard, target one normal hole. Target one normal hole. Target 1 whole normal trap in your graveyard, set it to your field. So this would be an extender, or it could kind of be a starter in a way. Summon this first, and then like link it off to a Sarah, and then normal summon something like Murmelo, or even the new one, Purika. Start your plays off that way. Too bad you can only use 1 effect once that turn. But you have the new one. That was Traptrix Arachnocampa. She special summoned stuff, so that's fine. That's what this card should have been. But this card has good utility. I think you'd still probably play this. Okay, now we're into the reprint territory. We got Godarla, which is now really easily accessible. Nobody can say they can't get Kaijus. Kumungus, also really good. Retaliating Sea. What does this one do? When your opponent activates a spell that includes the effect of special summons a monster, quick effect, you can special summon this card from your hand. If this card is special summoned this way while face up on the field, any card sent to the graveyard is banished instead. That really doesn't do anything right now. I'm sure like back in the day in Shaddoll format, because I think this was around for Shaddoll format. Because it doesn't do anything to Branded. Branded doesn't care. They get their effects if they're banished or sent to the graveyard. So it really doesn't matter for them. I know. I guess this would like be good against like, you know, other decks that aren't really like super popular, like Rogue. So, like a lot of Rogue decks don't special summon from the deck, or not necessarily special from the deck, but special summon off of spell effects. Because I know that Kashtira doesn't really care about being banished. They kind of really can get their stuff back either way. What is the secondary effect? If summoned this way, I already read that. If this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can add one Earth Insect monster with 1500 or less attack from your deck to your hand except itself. I think Max C was supposed to be in this. Is Max C reprinted in this? That'd be broken. I have a bunch of common Maxis just sitting around. I was just praying that was gonna come back, but it isn't. Like playing Master Duel, my perspective of Max C, even though I spent like a bunch of money gathering a bunch of Maxis for the day, I don't want it to come back. I'll take that L on the chin. I don't want that card to ever come back. Like maybe for like, you know, side events if Konami does like for their past format, then sure. But that'd be way too toxic. I really don't want to get Maxied. Resonance Insects, this is a really good reprint. If it's sent to the grave, if it's sent from the field to the graveyard, you can add one level 5 or higher insect monster from your deck to your hand. This card is banished. You can send one insect monster from your deck to the graveyard, except itself. I know Beat Troopers are really going to like that. This is an easy, accessible reprint. Lone Fire. Oh, snap. They reprinted Ash again? Structure deck people are eating really good today. This is a really good reprint. Rose Lover. Sage de Flou. They reprinted this already? Why is this in here? You can target one monster you control and one card on the field, special summon this card from your hand, and if you do, destroy them. Why is this in here? Wait a minute. None of this makes sense. Why is this in here? What is this a mistake? No, that's not a mistake. That's not a mistake. Oh yeah, oh, that was real. This is actually in here. Why is this actually in here? Mech Knight's got a reprint here. I have no explanation. Thank you for the reprint, I guess. Mortal Attack, we're a little too late. Fire Hand, and yeah, Ice Hand and Thunder Hand. No one plays Thunder Hand though. Like, what does Thunder Hand actually do? If a face-up monster you control with 1600 original attack or defense is destroyed by battle or card effect. So I think that's Murmelo. Yeah, that's Murmelo. Yeah, or the Fire Ice Hands. While this card is in your hand or graveyard, you can special summon this card but banish when it leaves the field, and if you do, destroy one card your opponent controls. Okay. This is like way late. This would have been really cracked against. Yeah, because Fire and Ice Hand don't have to special summon. No, they special summon Ice Hand. So like this just kind of out of place. Regeki getting a common reprint for the first time in a couple years, at least in a structure deck. I don't know, something about like just having these older, they're not necessarily older, these just common reprints. They look good if the structure deck quality, or if the quality control would increase a little bit. Because I don't know if I did that. I feel like I didn't, but maybe I did, because I can be a little reckless when opening. But they look nice. They have like a charm to them. Ooh, that's really good. They're doubling down, because this got reprinted in that Magnificent Mavens, which is only like 4 months ago. Really good reprint though. Really nice artwork. Oh, okay. We got something new. This is Terrifying Trap Hole Nightmare. If your opponent has special summon a monster this turn... Oh, okay. I like where this is going. Target one monster your opponent controls with 2,000 or more attack, destroy it. Then if you have a trap, then if you have a whole normal trap in your graveyard, you can banish one monster your opponent. Oh, okay, now I'm getting ahead of myself. I wish that was better. You can banish one monster from your opponent's graveyard. This is too late. This is the case of Konami just being a little tone deaf. This should have come out sooner, because this would have been amazing for tier limit format. And as we already know, tier limits has been butchered. This would have been amazing. This is still alright though. This is like a good card. Still, nonetheless. Like, you can take a resource from your opponent, and it doesn't need to trigger at that point. And that's where whole trap cards were like always suffering. Because like your opponent could just summon something, and if you weren't ready to like flip it, or you had to wait for a specific timing, then you would suffer, because they could, you know, play around your traps, and you just had to use your resources because they didn't have, like, you know, good protection. But that the terrifying trap whole nightmare, it's actually not bad. I wish it kind of did the other way around, or not the other way around, but I wish it just banished both, kind of like Ice Dragon's Prison, but that's okay. Still a really good card nonetheless. Trap hole reprint. Bottomless trap hole. We get 2 bottomless trap holes. Alright, that's cool. Void trap hole. When your opponent special summons a monster with 2,000 or more attack, negate the effects of one of those monsters with 2,000 or more attack, and if you do, destroy it. That's really good for bypassing, you know, non-destroyable monsters. This doesn't target either. So it can get rid of something tricky like Dragoon. I know Dragoon is coming back into the format, which is really funny. But, you know, this still looks really... I can't get over, like, the common... Like, it just has that charm about it. Traptrix Trap Hole Nightmare. When a monster that was special summoned this turn activates its effects on your opponent's field, negate that effect, and if you do, destroy that card. I don't actually remember it saying on your opponent's field. I didn't know that was ever specified. It's been some years since I've actually activated this card, but that's good to know. I remember this card was like stupidly busted back in hat format. Oh, and we're getting 2 of those. Okay. All right. We're eating good. Floodgate Trap Hole. This is really good. This is going to be really, really, really good against Kashtira. Like, you drop them twice, they just can't answer it. I'm not sure if Book of Eclipse would flip them back up after it resolved, but I'd have to check. Gravedigger's Trap Hole. Really good reprint. When your opponent activates a monster effect in their hand or graveyard, or when your opponent's Spanish monster's effect is activated, negate that effect. Negate its effect, and if you do, inflict 2,000 damage to your opponent. I don't know why I always assumed that it said 2,000 points of damage. It just says 2,000 damage to your opponent. And it doesn't really matter. That's still a really good card effect nonetheless. Really good for time. Or just burning for that little bit of damage. Traptrix isn't really known for like putting on like an excessive amount of damage because they're not really hyper aggressive. But I guess this new strategy with this, you could probably steal a game or 2 if your opponent is not like they're just not prepared or just not ready. Trap Trick, self-explanatory, just sets any of your traps. Shade Brigandine, that's pretty good reprint. We no longer need to play this, considering we have the new trap card that special summoned itself. Yeah, it's kind of sad. You don't actually need to play this anymore. Artifact Sanctum. I'm not gonna lie, this feels worthless to have, but at the same time, I'm also glad that they reprinted it after Scythe got banned, because F that card. Honestly, I'm so glad Scythe locking is no longer a thing. Konami did me dirty when they took away my tier limit deck, but that's okay because they took away Scythe locking, and then the barrier statue's gone as well. So, you know, it's cool. It's cool. I'll lose $300. That's fine. It's fine. It's okay. I'm not crying. You're crying. Sacred Tree. I thought this got reprinted in the OTS before. OTS 20. Could be wrong. Got to check on that. And then Rafflesia. This feels off, like being a common, but it's okay. It's still, like, this deck gives you everything you need, and like the reprints of everything isn't really expensive. Like, none of this stuff like spiked really crazy, so that's nice. Traptrix Olimarus, Traptrix Calaria, Traptrix Sarah. I remember a Traptrix Sarah spiked. Traptrix Sarah was like 30, 40 bucks almost for a little bit. I'm so glad they reprinted it, and then they reprinted it again. That card's never getting any value. And Mantis. Okay, I was wondering if Mantis was in here. I thought that was a little weird that the searcher for the monsters wasn't in here. But, you know, this structure deck's really worth it. This deck might not be tier 1, but it could definitely be rogue and maybe even tier 2. There's some really good traps, like the new Waybridge that just came out in Photon Hypernova. Product placement. We're not doing product placement here, but I guess I am. And then there was another trap. I can't remember the name at the time, but there's really good traps that we have access to that this deck actually can see like some more competitive play. And you can actually mix Dogmatica with this, because you don't really need the special summon from the extra deck. Like, once you get like all your pieces out, you can just kind of like, you know, rush your opponent. The fact that the Link 3, I hate the fact that it's a Link 3, but giving all your monsters 1,000 attack is like 1,800 points. Sarah is actually a little scary. That's unaffected by traps. That spawns other Traptrix. So, and then you have Rafflesia protecting it by battle. This deck is actually going to be really fun. Really good investment just to play. Like, if you just want something casual to play, you just want to step away from cash tier or like, you know, all the crazy stuff, this is really good investment. I'm glad I bought it. I'll be labbing it and try to drop a deck profile as soon as possible, as like when I get comfortable with the ratios. I haven't got much time to play, but I'm gonna try to play more. But this has been Target for Cost. Hope you enjoy your Friday evening, and you know, go out there, play some Yu-Gi-Oh! Make your opponent salty by playing a trap deck. Don't get Lightning Storm. I'll see you next time.